Welcome to the Unfiltered Political Lens Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about Russia, Iran, and the United States and the conflict and Putin's secret role within it. So we're just going to hop right into it. In today's rapidly shifting geopolitical environment, the tensions involving Russia, Iran, Israel, and the United States have become one of the most closely watched developments in international affairs. What is unfolding is not simply a regional dispute or a temporary flare-up of hostility, but rather a deeper contest over global influence, strategic positioning, and the future balance of power. To truly understand the stakes, we must examine how alliances, economic interests, military calculations, and ideological divisions intersect to shape the actions of these nations. The moment represents a turning point in how conflicts are fought and how power is projected in the modern world. Warfare is no longer limited to conventional battlefields. It now includes cyber operations, economic pressure, intelligence sharing, proxy engagements, and diplomatic maneuvering. By exploring Russia's connections to Iran's confrontation with Israel and the United States, we again insight on border geopolitics struggles that could influence the global stability for years to come. The growing tensions involving Russia, Iran, and Israel and the United States represent a complex geopolitical struggle shaped by competing visions of global leadership and national security. Now, at the same time, at the center of Russia's role is President Vladimir Putin. His long-standing efforts to restore his country's strategic influence following decades of perceived Western dominance. Strengthening ties with Iran has become one way of Moscow to challenge U.S. policies and expand its reach in the Middle East, and to reinforce the idea of a multipolar world order in which America's power is balanced by other major states. Over the years, this partnership between Russia and Iran has developed through military coordination and economic agreements like energy cooperation and a shared resistance to international sanctions. Both countries have found common ground in opposing what they view as Western interference in a region and its affairs, and his alignment, which has led to the increased dialogue and cooperation across several strategic sectors. As tensions rise between Iran, Israel, and the United States, those long-standing relationships become more significant because they provide Iran with diplomatic backing and a potential access to advanced technologies. Excuse me. Russia's involvement in the conflict remains largely indirect, yet its influence can still be meaningful in shaping outcomes on the ground. Analysts suggest that the intelligence cooperation may include satellite surveillance data, electronic warfare insights, and strategic assessments that help Iranian planners anticipate the military movements. Even without direct deployment of Russian troops, such assistance can enhance Iran's defensive capabilities and provide a greater confidence in responding to the perceived threats from the United States or Israel. And another crucial dimension in the conflict involves Iran's aligned proxies, the forces operating across multiple regions in the Middle East, and these groups function as extensions of Iranian strategy, which is allowing Tehran to exert the pressure to its adversaries while maintaining a level of plausible deniability. Whether it's from rocket attacks or military installations to disruptions of shipping routes and missile launches toward Israel's territory, these fighters contribute to an environment of a constant tension and uncertainty. Russia's potential role in strengthening these networks may involve sharing intelligence assessments, facilitating weapons development cooperation, or providing a diplomatic protection in international forums. While there is the limited public evidence of direct command or control, even indirect forms of support can influence the operations and effectiveness of such groups. And this layered conflict structure complicates military planning for the United States and Israel because the threats can emerge simultaneously across multiple fronts. The economic considerations are also at play. A power impactful role in shaping Russia's strategic posture during periods of Middle Eastern instability. As conflict threatens energy infrastructure or shipping routes, global oil prices often rise, benefiting major exporters like Russia by increasing the revenue streams. And that's what we're seeing in the Straits of Hormuz as we speak. These financial gains can translate into enhanced defense spending, modernization programs, and a broader geopolitical leverage, which is allowing Moscow to strengthen its position without engaging in open warfare. Now, at the same time, rising energy prices can create economic pressures for the Western nations and affecting fuel costs, inflation, and political stability at home. Hence, what are we dealing with now? But this dynamic illustrates how modern conflicts are fought not only with the weapons but also through market forces and resources competition. By navigating these economic shifts effectively, Russia can influence the strategic environment while maintaining a degree of separation from direct confrontations. Long-term infrastructure and nuclear energy cooperation between Russia and Iran further reinforces their alignment and their mutual dependence. Joint projects in power generation and industrial development and technological research provide Iran with greater resilience against the sanctions and the external pressures. For Russia, these initiatives create opportunities to expand its influence in the region, historically shaped by the Western involvement, while also strengthening diplomatic partnerships that can be leveraged in a global negotiation. Excuse me. Despite these deepening ties, the most strategic experts believe that Russia is unlikely to engage directly militarily in a conflict with the United States over Iran, and the risk associated with such an escalation would be enormously, potentially involving nuclear deterrence, dynamics, global economic disruption, and the possibility of a wider international war. Instead, Russia appears to prefer a strategy centered on indirect engagement, shaping the events through the intelligence support, diplomacy, economic positioning, and regional alliances. The most concerning scenario would involve gradual escalation into a broader shadow conflict between the major powers. Miscalculations, proxy clashes, or unintended encounters between the military forces could intensify the hostilities and draw additional nations into the crises. In a globalized world trade, energy supplies, and security alliances are deeply interconnected, and the consequences of such an escalation would extend far beyond the Middle East. Ultimately, this situation, it highlights the evolving nature of our global conflict. In the 21st century, the nations are increasingly using hybrid strategies that combine military readiness with economic influence, technological innovation, and diplomatic maneuvering, which also is to pursue their interests. Understanding Russia's indirect yet significant role in the tensions involving Iran, Israel, and the U.S. helps us see the broader picture in a shifting international system where the power is contested across multiple domains at once. If you found this analysis valuable and you want more deep dive into geopolitical breakdowns, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I want to thank you once again for tuning in to another episode of the Unfiltered Political Lens Podcast, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you. Peace.